Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hope you're doing well. So, I wanted to discuss more notes here that I have of the RadFems after really digging into their philosophy for such a while now. And I feel that many Muslims who are visiting the Western world, who want to send their kids to America, who want to move to America, American reverts, you name it, everyone can learn from this and benefit from it because they'll be able to identify the rhetoric and be able to have rebuttals at hand for when their female loved ones or sons who become male feminists present them with the ideas. Okay, you won't be caught blind, inshallah. So, RadFems feel that the patriarchy enforces motherhood upon the populace by glorifying self-sacrificing mothers. Now, if you recall, I pointed out how RadFems are obsessed with autonomy and liberation. Anything that saddles someone down is seen as oppressive and exploitative. The more you dig into their selfishness, the more you sort of feel pity for them, but also disgust at the same time. So, self-sacrifice, I have the definition here, the giving up of one's own interests or wishes in order to help others or advance a cause. So, you'll see some RadFems who are anti-natalist climate alarmists say don't have kids because of climate change, and they also have this feminist movement. It's like B1 or something with numbers and letters, but it was really popular in South Korea, where women are protesting by not having children and not getting married in order to fight the patriarchy. So they're sacrificing their reproductive abilities and motherhood opportunities in order to advance a cause. So that is self-sacrifice in a way. So the RadFems, they abhor self-sacrificial mothers, but they'll gladly encourage young women to make the drastic decision to not reproduce and to eventually end up in an old folks' home. Now, you can have kids and still end up in an old folks' home, but you guarantee your placement there, pretty much, when you don't have someone to take care of you. And so, think about how negative they view a mother who is self-sacrificing. So, they actually value selfishness above all. They glorify individualism and independence. They don't want you to depend on a man. They don't want children and childcare and cooking and domestic tasks to trap them, okay? This is why you'll see them have weird art where they're cutting the handcuffs from the kitchen sink. Ridiculous stuff like that. And they think it's wrong that men actually glorify mothers who put their own interests aside and do what's best for the family and children. Isn't that interesting how if men didn't sacrifice for their family, a lot of pregnant women would suffer? It's fascinating how these RadFems will complain about narcissists, bad men, all that, but then turn around and say, well, we don't want to be self-sacrificing, but we want men to sacrifice for us. That's quite odd, isn't it? I don't think it's right that they expect people to sacrifice for them, but they don't want to reciprocate that energy. And imagine putting yourself before your kids. Self-care is important. Like, let's say your husband's coming home late, it was time for you to shower, you really need that shower, and then you put your baby in their bed, and you go shower, you know they're changed, you know they're burped, fed, but they're gonna cry because they want to hang on you like a little cute koala. Sure, they'd be crying for however long you're in the shower, but you needed that because you have to take care of yourself too. That's different, right? But if you're deeply selfish to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm gonna put my 8-week-old child in child care because I don't want to lose my career edge and I really need those bragging rights at the next cocktail party. So let me put my kid with a stranger and risk them doing something bizarre to my kid, and my kid is so young they can't tell me. It's okay, it's worth the risk because I gotta have those bragging, boasting capabilities at the next social gathering. That would be more selfish than saying, you know what, screw that job. It doesn't matter really. My kid's only gonna be small once. Let me be a full-time mom, present, be able to protect them, be with them, breastfeed them, cuddle them whenever they need it. Just let's put them first. Let's go pedal to the metal. All in. Bam. No. That's self-sacrifice. Sacrificing your career, your stupid job, college, whatever it is, to put your child at the forefront. So really think about that. And I want you to analyze within your own self how many good people in your life did something self-sacrificial for you and they wanted something to be another way, but they chose to do something that was best for you. You always can't have it your way. Think about the phrase, it's my way or the highway. Compromise doesn't come up in that type of an environment. A lot of RadFems are combative. They don't compromise. They're deeply selfish. They are rugged individualists who pretend they want some type of lesbian collectivism, but they are at odds with the male sex and heterosexuality, many of them. And so, in order to get rid of the patriarchy, they want women to advance their cause and sacrifice reproduction in order to get their goals met. And so, one should note that they will say, put your kid aside, put your family aside, put your husband aside, but put our cause at the forefront. And you do wonder how many women now, they say feminism lied to me. I've seen quite a lot of posts, which is fascinating, how there'll be like a nurse at her desk and she's like, oh, I went to nursing school and all I really want to do is be at home and be with my kids. You're seeing more and more of that now, where women are lamenting their debt and work obligations, and they really just want to have less pressure on their back. They kind of lose their steam as they hit 30 and are like, actually, maybe I don't want to spend, 12 hours a day grinding it out, and I'd rather have some more harmony at home and create my own stable environment. Because when you're at home, you're able to control your environment more. No matter your budget, you always have a way to make your home cozy, welcoming, and desirable. Just takes ingenuity and creativity, and you can make your feng shui home. You can make everything feel great. And so, remember, you don't want to get mother advice from a RadFem, because they're already in opposition to motherhood and they don't respect the spiritual obligation a mother has to her children. Many RadFems are occultists and they're highly materialistic and money is their god. And so you need to watch out for them, and you need to understand that if a man is glorifying a self-sacrificing mother, that's more honorable than a RadFem saying, no. Don't put anyone else's interests above your own. You always put yours before anything else, because no one's going to look out for you except you. There's a truth to don't overly rely on others to kind of be your rescuer. You will have to be able to rely upon yourself and your ingenuity. But you do have to give in order to expect something back in return sometimes. For example, you don't help nobody, but you want everyone to help you. That's not sustainable. And people pick up on that. They're going to be able to see, you know what, so-and-so, they're always asking for this, they always want that, demanding X, Y, and Z, but when I need help, they're not there. Because it inconveniences them, but they don't care when their demands are pressure upon my shoulders, you see? And so you get an imbalance there, and then before you know it, your inner circle becomes smaller and smaller until you're quite isolated. And that doesn't help a lot of people when they become too much of a lone wolf. Not argue. So, to them, the patriarchy is a nefarious force that is congratulating self-sacrificing mothers. Imagine complaining about a mom who is self-sacrificed for you. There can be some animosity where a mom will say, like, I did this and this for you. But ask yourself, what are you doing to make your mom have to say that? To have to remind you what she did? What was it? Think about it. Let me know what you think. Please like, comment, subscribe, share, join the blog. And I hope that these videos about the philosophy of RadFems, radical feminists, who have been heavily blocked by, help you to see their lunacy, where they're coming from, how you can go about having these conversations with your loved ones, and getting you thinking about how absurd they are and how Islam has a superior system. Take care.